Hi everyone, this is Melanie. It's probably been a while since I've put a video up. I think it's about 5 months. So I'm sorry for that, for those people who are interested in my story. But I thought I'd do a catch up and let you know what's been happening and what's coming up and a few other bits and pieces. So excuse me if I keep referring to my notes because the memory's not that good. So for those of you that may not have seen my previous videos, my name is Melanie. I'm now 62 years old and I'm transitioning later in life. Just a brief outline of my story. I was never really into male pursuits. Even from a very young age, I thought I should have been something different. I got married thinking that it would change me and I'll be more of a man. And for 42 years I kept a secret from my wife and everyone else, which almost ended in, me not being here, simply because the depression and the anxiety became too much, and twice I tried to finish it, but having a very supportive wife is a big thing. So I came out to my wife about mid last year. That's 2018, and haven't looked back since. The weight of the world was lifted from my shoulders. I finally got the go ahead to be who I should have been and live my life happily and in the body I want to be in. I've had my name changed legally. My driver's license, my birth certificate, and my passport's in the process of being done, and my medical insurance and a few other bits and pieces have all been changed. So legally, I'm now Melanie, and not that other person, which I never really wanted to be anyway. So things are all happening. As far as clothing, I have discarded all my male clothing. So now I'm living full-time as a female. I've got quite a wardrobe actually. I can see it from a female point of view now, whereas clothes are it. Clothes and shoes. Very interesting to me, and I hope to get a lot more. And so all my male clothing's gone. I gave it all to charity. So there's no going back. Not that I want to go back, but this is who I want to be and where I want to go. So that just reinforces it. I want to talk about my wife. My wife, well, she released me from my lifelong pain. I'm not saying I haven't had a happy life. I've had lots of good times. Never regretted marrying my wife and having 3 children, but I always had this secret in the back of my mind, a secret that I intended to take to the grave. And one day in 2018, my wife was struggling to understand what was going on with me while I was depressed all the time, and the suicide attempts. She doesn't know where this question came from. She had no previous clues, but she just looked me in the face and said, "Do you want to be a woman?" And after 42 years of marriage and keeping this secret for some 50 odd years, it was like the floodgates opened. I couldn't stop it. It was like a tidal wave, a rush that said, let it go. And I came out and said, yes. And of course she was taken back at the time. It took her a couple of weeks to fully understand the ramifications of what I was saying, and she went through a period like they say, a mourning period, where she felt she'd lost a husband, lost a life partner. But I assured her that was never going to be the case. I'm always here for her, always will be. And since then, she has become the most understanding, the most helpful, the kindest person towards my transition that anyone could hope for. She's so encouraging. She helps me buy clothes, she helps me with makeup, she helps me with everything. The pronouns are a bit slow in coming, but she's trying, and quite often she uses the right ones and right name and he and she and her and all that. She's getting there. But she's happy where she is now. She's happy that she's got me in a happy place, and we are happy together. And that's what matters, to see out the rest of our life in a happy place together. That's all that matters. So she has adjusted quite well, and you hear so many stories of partners who can't deal with it, and that's understandable. It's a big change. Some break up, marriages break down. All sorts of terrible things. And this was one of the main concerns for me over the years. Well, I couldn't tell anyone. One main concern was that I didn't know what people would think, and I couldn't live with the thought of people thinking I was some sort of weirdo or something like that. But the biggest thing was I couldn't fathom losing my wife. Now, this is a woman that I met when I was about a very young age. Our parents knew each other. And so I'd say I've probably known her for about 55 years. We've been married 42 years. I suppose you could say we were made for each other. And she's amazingly supportive, and I could not hope or wish for a better wife in my corner while I go through this major transition to becoming a female. And having talked about that, family's another thing. Family has been fairly supportive. On my wife's side, they're all quite supportive. On my side, it's a bit mixed. Unfortunately, my sister doesn't speak to me anymore. She actually wished me a Merry Christmas, but couldn't use my right name. And she knows that I've changed my name and everything. My brother's a little standoffish. He doesn't think he'll be able to use my real name, or it might take a long while to be able to use it, and that's fine. Everyone's got to deal with it in their own way. It's a big thing for everyone, not just me. And, well, my mother, who's in a nursing home, she's suffering from dementia, and sorry, it's a little upsetting. She doesn't recognise me. Can't bear to look at me, which is very upsetting. Very upsetting. I try not to cry because I don't want to ruin the video. But anyway, yeah. And as far as colleagues and people I work with, everyone's fine. I've even had people come up to me out of the blue. Well, let's put it this way. The story goes, I'm a delivery driver, and I was delivering to one place in Sydney, and it was this Asian lady, and she came up to me and said, "And what's your name?" And I said, because I was wearing my name tag around my neck here, Melanie, and I said, it just came out that I used my old name. She goes, "Really?" And I said, "Let it go." And I said, "Actually, my name is Melanie." And she said to me, "I know exactly what you mean." Now that's just amazing. She said she's got a son who's going through the same thing. He's transitioning, so she knows exactly where I'm coming from and all about what I'm going through. And that's amazing. And I've had, I work in an industry where it's very male orientated, and I've had the blokiest of blokes come up to me and are so supportive. Want to know all about it. And I'm just taken back because all these years I stopped telling anyone. I prevented myself from happiness because I didn't know what people would think, and I was scared of what people may react. And now I just see that as being silly. You know, life is too short not to be able to live it how you want and be happy. So I regret waiting this long to come out. I wish I'd have done it a lot of years ago. But still, my life has been okay, and I'm now in a happy place, and looking forward to the future. Now, what's been happening? A lot has been happening. To start with, in early December of 2019, I had a consultation with the facial team. Now, if you haven't heard of the facial team, they're a world-renowned FFS doctors in Spain. And they do orientation trips around the world. And I had one with them in early December in Sydney. And I spoke to the surgeon who's going to actually be doing my surgery, or possibly doing my surgery, and he explained it all, and what I needed and what I didn't need, and they were so friendly, and they took pictures and all this sort of thing, and it was just a wonderful experience. I spoke to other transgender people that were down there for the same thing, and it was good. It was great. So much so that I booked a surgery date for the 19th of March 2020. So in 2020, we'll be going to Spain. Flights are booked. Deposits are paid. And I'll be getting my brow done, whereas they make an incision from ear to ear just about and pull it back and cut out a big part of the forehead, reshape it and reposition it, and fix it with titanium screws, which gives it more smoother, flatter appearance. I'm also having, now I think I say this right when I say blepharoplasty, which is the eyelids done to bring my eyes forward a bit more. I'm having my nose worked on to take the bump out of my nose, make it a bit more feminine. And I'm having a lip flip, so to bring this top lip up a bit to give it that more feminine appearance. There's not much else I needed. The doctor said you don't really need work on the jaw. You don't have much of an Adam's apple. You don't do any work there. So that's about it. But let me say, it's enough, because that's going to cost me about $42,000, which is a lot of money. A lot of money. And I can see why a lot of people can't go through with it, because they just don't have that sort of money. But lucky enough, we're in a position to achieve that. So that's upcoming in March next year. Also, back in September, I went to Melbourne to have a chat with a possible GRS surgeon, or gender reassignment surgery. I went down for a weekend down to Melbourne, because I live up in Sydney, and we had a chat about it and everything, and spoke to his offsider, who she is an amazing person. They were both very friendly, very knowledgeable, and I was so impressed that I'd also booked a surgery date for my GRS. So September 10 in 2020, I'll be having gender reassignment surgery, and hopefully that will see me in a place where I only dreamt about being. So, yes, as far as personal changes, my hair's getting longer, and I've noticed a little bit of more rounding in the face. You've got to speak of it. My breasts have grown. I'm probably a full A going on a B cup, which is amazing. I didn't actually expect that much growth, and it's still happening because they're still sore, and it's still happening because I've been on hormone replacement therapy for 10 and a half months. So yeah, things are starting to happen. I've noticed a bit more weight around the hips, not a lot, because I'm only a slight person. I'm not overweight or anything, but I have noticed a bit of fat starting to settle around my hips and that, and on my bum, which is very pleasing. My waist is a little bit narrower, I suppose. They're only subtle, minor changes, but you can see them happening. And when people come up to you and say, "Oh, I haven't seen you for about 3 months and you've changed so much," and it's very gratifying to receive compliments from people. Got some new glasses. Make me look more feminine, I think. Wearing a bit of makeup. Yeah, things are starting to feel good, and I'm quite happy where I am and where I'm going. So, if I had a word of advice for people out there in the same situation, don't hesitate. You've got to live your life how you want, and you've got to be happy. Don't leave it too long like I have. Even if you have left it to my age, don't waste any more time. Do what makes you happy. The feeling I have now is overwhelming. I feel wonderful, you know. get greeted in shops as ladies, and I have no trouble with shopping in ladies' shops, and they're all very supportive, and I haven't had a negative comment. One thing I neglected to mention is that I've been having electrolysis. I've only had about 7 sessions of an hour, but already starting to feel a slight difference. There's not so much there. Still a long way to go. The lady has told me that it can take up to 100 hours. So that's a very expensive thing to go through too, and it's not real comfortable. But, you know, I've got my goals set on where I want to be and what I want to be, and I'm quite willing to put up with that discomfort and ongoing treatments to get what I want. Yeah, well, that's about it. I thank you to all the people who have viewed my previous videos. There's only 3 of them, but if you want to go back and have a look at them, if you haven't seen them, they're there up on YouTube. I only have a few subscribers. I think it's about 13 at last count, which is wonderful anyway. I don't expect it to be a YouTube sensation, but it's nice to have people interested in your story, and I hope that my story helps someone to better themselves. And I will endeavour to put more videos up in the coming future as my surgeries get closer, and hopefully people can notice a difference. So be well, everyone, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested, and hit that bell so you'll get a notification. Give me a thumbs up, please. It's so gratifying to know that people are interested in your story. Thank you to everyone. Bye.